Good morning, dear students. Today we will start with chapter 3, metals and non-metals. And today we will start part 1 of this chapter. See students, for this academic year, from this chapter, metallurgy has been deducted. Okay, the part metallurgy is not in your syllabus. Clear? So, in this chapter, basically we are going to read what is the basic difference between metal and non-metal. What is the difference between metals and non-metals, and the properties of metals and non-metals, how metal will react with water, metals will react with acid, metals will react with their salts, and finally we are going to see the properties of ionic compound. See, first we will see basic difference between metals and non-metals. Second thing we are going to see the properties of metals and non-metals. Third thing we are going to see the properties of ionic compounds. Properties of ionic compounds and their formation. Clear? So these things we are going to see in our chapter 3. The fourth part is metallurgy, that is not for your examination. So basic difference between metals and non-metals, properties of metals and non-metals. In this portion, properties of metals and non-metals, we are going to see the different reactions of metals and non-metals, and finally we are going to see the properties of ionic compounds, that is their basic differences, and how the ionic compounds are formed. So we will see the three parts in this chapter. Okay, you can write this chapter. You can write these portions. Let me check the video quality. Yes, it is okay. Okay, now we will start with the basic differences between the metals and non-metals. See students, take your pen and notebook and write the difference between metals and non-metals with me. Okay, so first is metal, and here we will write non-metal. Clear? Now, the first difference between the metal and non-metals is metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell. Metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell. And here we are going to write non-metals. Non-metals generally have 4, 5, 6 and 7 electrons in their valence shell. Clear? So what we will see, the metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell. What is valence shell? Valence means outermost orbit. For example, we can see, any metal, for example sodium have the atomic number 11, so it is 2, 8, 1. Its electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. We can take magnesium 12, 2, 8, 2. See, 1 electron in its outermost shell, 2 electron in its outermost shell. For example, aluminium is 2, 8, 3. Aluminium's atomic number is 13, therefore we are going to write the electronic configuration is 2, 8, 3. See, 3 electron in its valence shell. Now here exception, hydrogen. See, hydrogen have only one electron. So it is not a metal. Hydrogen is not metal. Clear? So metals generally have 1 electron, 2 electron or 3 electron in their valence shell. Non-metals generally have 4, 5, 6, 7 electron in their valence shell. For example, non-metals, carbon. Carbon atomic number is 6. So what we can write the configuration? 2, 4. See 4 electron. We can have nitrogen 2, 5. See, we can have oxygen 8, 2, 6. See 4 electron, 5 electron, 6 electron and 7 electrons in the valence shell. We can also write the fluorine, that is 2, 7 electron in the valence shell. So metals generally have 1 electron, 2 electron or 3 electron in their valence shell, but the non-metals generally have 4, 5 or 6 electron or 7 electron in their valence shell. So this is the first basic difference between the metal and non-metals. Okay. Now second difference is physical property. Physical properties. Now metals generally, okay, metals are generally hard solids. Metals are generally solids. Metals are generally solids. Exception, okay, there is exception. Mercury. Mercury is a liquid. Mercury is a liquid at room temperature, and gallium becomes liquid. See, gallium initially it is solid, but when we use the gallium, then the gallium will be liquid at room temperature. Gallium will be liquid at room temperature. See, metals are generally solids. But mercury is an exceptional metal. It is liquid at room temperature, and second is gallium. Gallium is initially it is solid, but when we start use of gallium, it will become liquid at room temperature. Then here non-metals are in solid, liquid and gaseous state. Now non-metals can be solid, liquid or gaseous. Non-metals can be solid, liquid or gaseous. Solid, carbon is a solid. Then liquid is bromine is a liquid. Okay, so bromine is a non-metal and it is liquid state. And gases, nitrogen and oxygen are non-metal and they are in the gaseous state. See, non-metals are in solid, liquid or gaseous state. Non-metals can be in all three states. Solid, for example, solid, that is carbon is non-metal. Liquid, bromine, okay, and gaseous, nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen are in the liquid state. Clear? So these are the two basic difference between the metal and non-metal. Now we are going to write the third basic difference. You can note down these points. These are very important. Now the third basic difference between the metals and non-metals is the third basic difference between the metals and non-metal. Third difference. See, metals generally have the shiny surface, therefore, and that property is known as lustrous. Okay, metals are luster. Lustrous means shiny surface. Okay, metals are generally lustrous. Exception, lead have dull surface. The metal lead, that is plumbum, have the dull surface. Now non-metals are not lustrous. Non-metals do not have a property of lustrous, that is, non-metals generally do not have a shiny surface, but there is exception in non-metal. And what is exception? Iodine. See, iodine is a non-metal, but it is having a shiny surface. Then diamond. Diamond is an allotrope of carbon. Diamond is an allotrope of carbon, but then also it is having a shiny surface. Carbon is a non-metal. Okay, so diamond comes under non-metal, which is allotropes of carbon, and it is having a shiny surface. So we can write iodine, diamond, graphite crystals. Graphite crystals. Now graphite crystals are also having the shiny surface. So metals are generally having the properties of luster, that is shiny surface. But there is one exception, that is lead. Lead is having a dull surface. Non-metals are not lustrous. That means non-metals do not have a property of luster. But there is an exception, that is iodine. Iodine crystals are shiny crystals. Okay, diamond, graphite crystals. Then next difference is the difference number 4, malleability. Malleability. What is malleability? Malleability is ability to form a thin wires. Okay, malleability. See, what is malleability? The metals having two properties, malleable and ductility. Malleability and ductility. Clear? So metals are generally having a property of malleability. Metals are malleable, and here the non-metals are non-malleable. Okay, you can write these 2 points. Okay, so metals having a property of malleability. Now what is malleability? Ability to form thin sheets. Okay, so the metals can be hammered and it is converted into thin sheet. Okay, so metals having a property of malleability. Exception. Now, what is the example of malleability? For example, malleability means it can be converted into thin sheet. For example, aluminium, copper, gold, they can be hammered and it can be converted into the thin sheet. Exception is zinc. Zinc is not malleable. Okay, zinc is not malleable. Mercury is a liquid, therefore it is not malleable. Then gallium, I have said already, gallium becomes liquid at room temperature, so gallium cannot be converted into thin sheets. Then sodium and potassium. Now see, sodium and potassium are soft solid. Sodium and potassium are soft metals, so they cannot be converted into the thin sheets. Clear? Now non-metals are non-malleable. Non-metals are not malleable, but here there are also an exception. Carbon fibers. Okay, carbon fibers. Carbons can be converted into thin sheet. Carbon fibers. Clear? So it is malleable. So non-metals are generally not malleable, and metals are generally malleable in nature. Ability to form thin sheets. Now the fifth difference is ductility. What is ductility? Ductility is ability to draw or ability to form a thin wire. Ability to form thin wires. Okay, so metals can be converted into thin wires also. Metals can be converted into thin wires also. Example 1 gram gold can be converted into 2 kilometer long wire. Okay, from 1 gram gold we can form 2 kilometer long wire. See how much ductile is the gold. Gold metal is very ductile in nature and ability to form thin wire. So metals are ductile. Okay, metals are what we can conclude. Metals are ductile and non-metals are non-ductile. Okay, metals are ductile and non-metals are non-ductile in nature. So what we can conclude, non-metals cannot be converted into the thin wires. Okay, then next property is hardness of metal. Okay, the next difference is hardness. So metals are generally hard solids. But there is an exception. What is the exception? Mercury is not hard because it is at room temperature. Mercury is a liquid. Second is sodium. Sodium metal is a soft metal. That we can cut the sodium metal with the help of knife. Potassium metal is also a soft metal, so we can cut with the help of knife. So metals are generally hard solids, exception mercury, sodium and potassium. And here we can write the non-metals are generally not hard. Here there is also an exception. Here what we can say, diamond is a hardest known element. Diamond is the hardest known element. Okay, see, diamond is allotrope of carbon and carbon is a non-metal. What we have written, non-metals are generally not hard. Okay, but diamond is one of the hardest known element. Okay, diamond is the hardest known element. Clear? Now next is density. This is point number 6. Point number 7 is density. So metals generally have high density and non-metals have low density. Is point number 7. So metals are generally having the high density, okay, and non-metals having the low density. What is density? Density is equal to mass upon volume. Here there is also one exception. Diamond having very high density, because diamond is one of the hardest known elements. So diamond is having the high density. See, generally non-metals have low density, but diamond is having very high density. Okay, the next difference is electrical conductivity. Okay, or we can say electrical conductivity. So metals generally are good conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, and non-metals are poor conductor or non-conductor of heat and electricity. Clear? Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity because of delocalized electrons. Metals having thousands and millions of delocalized electrons, that means free electron. So due to that free electron, metals can have a conduction of electricity and heat. Non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Non-metals are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. Then the next difference is melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point. Next difference is melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point. So metals generally have high melting point and boiling point. Metals have high melting point and boiling point. Metals generally have high melting point and boiling point. Exception, mercury, gallium. See, they are liquid at room temperature, so they will have low melting and boiling point. And here, non-metals have low melting point and boiling point. And here also there is an exception. What is exception? Carbon, silicon. Okay, carbon and silicon are non-metal, but they have very high melting and boiling point. Carbon and silicon have the non-metal, but they have, and we can write diamond also. Diamond. Okay, they have very high melting and boiling point. So, see, we have seen the differences between the metals and non-metals. I hope you have understood the differences between the metals and non-metals. Your homework for today is you have to find out 4 or 5 more differences between the metals and non-metals. Your homework is you have to find 4 or 5 more differences between the metals and non-metals. Clear? Okay. Thank you very much.